Raphael Devers, Fernando Tatis Jr, Masataka Yoshida, and Josh Naylor. What's going on? Why is nobody talking about these players? We're not comparing them with the likes of Shohei Ohtani, who entered the history books, becoming the first player of all time to hit a shutout and 2 homers. Or Acuna Jr., who became the first National League player to have 20 home runs, 40 steals, and 50 RBIs in the 2023 season, before the All-Star break. But all attention is being drawn to just these 2 players, so that's the reason nobody is talking about them. So kick back and join us as we unveil the mesmerizing stories of these unnoticed stars and uncover the mystery of why nobody's talking about them in the MLB. The first player on the list is Raphael Devers. When Raphael Devers is called up to play his third base position in the Boston Red Sox, he's actively doing very well. He's already a 2-time All-Star from 2021 and 2022, and has also won the Silver Slugger Award in 2021. Let's not forget that he is the Boston Red Sox future American League MVP, and that's just one of the things remaining to be checked off his list. After all those awards in 2021 and 2022, when he started the 2023 season, it was predicted that he'd be the leader of the team because he's a very good player. But how come nobody's talking about him? Going back to 2020, that was a pretty good season for Devers. He finished the year with a .295 batting average, .358 on-base percentage, with a .521 slug, and .879 OPS. Plus, he also had 27 home runs and 88 RBIs. It was enough to get him an All-Star spot. With these stats, he was the talk of the town, even though he did get held back by some injuries. Going into the 2023 season, Devers signed a 10-year contract worth $313.5 million. The first season of this huge contract has been a roller coaster for the Boston Red Sox and Devers. In April 2023, he went crazy and hit 10 home runs, but his batting average was barely above 200. In the next 2 months after that, on average, he was hitting around 250 and 5 home runs per month. However, on the 31st of July, Boston lost against the Mariners, but the team had 9 hits, and Devers was the only Red Sox hitter with multiple hits. After hitting .266 in the first half of the season, he batted .354 in July to raise his season slash to .266, .333, and .519. As one of Boston's most reliable players, he's added 25 home runs, 76 RBIs, 57 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases in 100 games. So, why is nobody talking about him yet? First, we think it's because he was snubbed off the 2023 All-Star Game with a vote of 1,185,906. While Cleveland's Jose Ramirez had 1,219,704 votes, leading him by about 33,798 votes. He was just unlucky, because if you really watch him play, he's always hitting the ball hard with a good swing, and also controlling his zone. On the 14th of July, 2023, he proved that he was special in the team's 8-3 win over the Chicago Cubs, hitting 2 of the team's 6 homers at Wrigley Field. Is he doing well at the plate? He definitely is.
RBIs for Rafi, 4th in the big leagues, and Rafi crushes this one to right center field, to the wall and gone!
In the game where he hit 2 homers, he predicted it, and just like that, it ended up happening. His chances of playing in plenty of games will increase if he keeps predicting them. And now, having hit 22 home runs as of July, he's accepting the All-Star exclusion with dignity. How about Masataka Yoshida? Why is nobody talking about him? Let's travel back to December 2022, when he was first signed by Boston to a 5-year, $90 million deal. There were plenty of doubts that he wasn't going to fit into the team. But look at Yoshida now. He's been able to prove his doubters wrong with his insane performance. He goes into MLB games now and punishes pitchers with his eyes he's mastered at the plate. In 50 games, Masataka Yoshida has hit .314 with an .899 OPS, 22 extra base hits, 23 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Those are some pretty good numbers. There have only been 2 players this century who've reached base over 85 times and struck out 25 or fewer. Masataka Yoshida in 2023, and Ichiro Suzuki in 2001. His stats are amazing, and no doubt should be one of the favorites for AL Rookie of the Year this 2023 season. With stats this year impressive enough to be marked down as history, why is nobody talking about him? It could be because he was left out in the 2023 All-Star Game, with a total vote count of only 53,372. Here's some more numbers. By June, he led all qualified Boston batters in average, on-base percentage, OPS, and OPS+. His strikeout percentage of 10.7% was by far the best on the team. Check out what we're saying.
Massa today 1 for 3. 3-3 tie in the bottom half of the 8th inning as a shot out to left field went the opposite way. Back.
Yes.
That ball's out of here. Massa. The Red Sox lead it 4-3. How do you like that? Going up for number 10. How sick was that? Get the dumbbells down.
Well, all we know is that Yoshida is a good hitter. And if he keeps hitting the way he did in the first months of his MLB career, he'll be an all-star for sure in the years to come. And we know for sure that politics won't come in, like they did for the next player we're going to talk about, Fernando Tatis Jr. There's no doubt that Tatis did something wrong by using performance-enhancing drugs, which he's not supposed to do. But in order to catch up as quickly as possible, he tried his best to make up for lost time. His power-speed combination and his defensive statistics are one of a kind. In Tatis Jr.'s first game when he came back from an 80-game suspension, he showcased an excellent performance in the team. Still, nobody's talking about him, despite his stats as of the 23rd of July, 2023, where he'd recorded a .287 batting average, a .346 on-base percentage, 17 home runs, 50 RBI, 57 runs scored, and 95 hits through over 68 games played. No one is talking about him. Don't forget that before he got these numbers, he was missing the first 20 games of the 2023 season. Since he was moved to the outfield position, he's been exceptional and a star for the team. Let's say the reason he's not in everyone's conversations is due to his cheating with PEDs, and the fans and Major League Baseball authority still hold him guilty for it. I'm sure this was also a factor in why he was denied a spot in the 2023 All-Star Game, because he was doing way more than his fellow San Diego outfielder, Juan Soto. In a video, his teammate, Manny Machado, said Tatis Jr.'s exclusion from the All-Star Game roster is directly related to his previous use of performance-enhancing drugs and maybe politics.
We all know that there's politics in this, so, unfortunately it's not the right thing to do. He's going out there. He paid his dues and he did what he needed to do last year. And and as far as him going out there and playing and performing every single day, he's lived up to that. He's exceeded it, and he's put this team on his back for the first half. And he deserves to be an all-star, and he's not. So. It's just, it's an unfortunate situation.
What Tatis Jr. did is a stain on his career. Players who are found guilty using PEDs are never completely trusted in baseball. They're always going to face criticism, and their names won't be recognized by some fans. Well, it all comes down to trust. We hope Tatis will be able to overcome his past with some huge, impressive plays in his future games. Justin Turner. Justin Turner is a professional baseball player who's been in the major leagues for more than 10 years. And his reputation as an adaptable infielder is well earned because he can play a variety of spots with ease. As a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers team, he assisted in multiple successful seasons, including a World Series victory in 2020. In 2017, Turner had his best season with the Dodgers, hitting .322 with 21 home runs and 71 RBIs. In the game, he went 0-2 with a walk, earning him his first All-Star selection. His selection was well-deserved, as he became one of the most reliable hitters on the Dodgers roster and a key player in their lineup. Fast forward to the 2023 season, and Tucker is hitting it real hard. He has 17 home runs, a .287 batting average, a .356 on-base percentage, 66 runs scored, and 111 hits. But nobody's talking about him, and he didn't make it to the 2023 All-Star Game. But what we should focus on right now is that Turner is doing what it takes to show the MLB world that he's on another level. Whether people talk about him or not, he's playing very well, and soon his name will be on everyone's lips. Do you remember what Turner did on June 4th, 2023? His presence allowed the Red Sox to defeat the Tampa Bay Rays in an 8-6 victory for the first time. So, no need to be too frustrated about the current situation. He'll be noticed very soon. Josh Naylor. Can you name the top 5 guys in the major leagues who lead the league in runs batted in? There's the guy in first spot, Garcia of the Texas Rangers, with 80 RBI. Then there's Arenado of the St. Louis Cardinals with 76 RBI. And the third is Josh Naylor of the Cleveland Guardians, also with 76 RBI. Josh is the best player that nobody's talking about. So, why is nobody talking about him? Well, the Guardians aren't playing the best baseball this season, but Josh has joined Ramirez as one of Cleveland's best hitters. His numbers are very good, especially amongst the other first basemen in the NL. At the start of the season, Naylor hit .250 in the month of March and .208 in April. Despite being in a difficult cycle, Naylor never let it get to him. He's already part of Cleveland's greatest baseball players, having already collected 102 hits, 15 home runs, and 76 RBI this 2023 season. He's only the 8th Cleveland hitter to get over a .305 average, over 100 hits, and over 75 RBI through the team's first 100 games since 1954. All the struggles he went through to be able to get these kinds of numbers, and still no one is talking about him. He was even snubbed from the All-Star game, despite ranking near the top of the major league leaderboards in RBI and batting average. But that shouldn't bother him too much, because he's been one of the best players in baseball this 2023 season. Even though he wasn't an All-Star, the Guardians are still in the playoffs race because of his contribution. On July 17, 2023, Josh and his younger brother became the first brother duo in Major League history to blast multiple run homers in the same inning against the Rangers. And if it wasn't for Josh Naylor, the Cleveland Guardians would have already lost their chances to win the American League Central and make a push for a World Series title. Christian Walker.
The reason we love Christian Walker is we talk about adding value to a ball club. There's a reason he's the first baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks through this kind of rebuild. He does a lot of things right. The shooter's definitely one of them, but we're going to get into some numbers here.
Christian Walker is on the path to carry Arizona to the next World Series. And one of the bigger surprises in baseball this season has been the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are currently second in the National League West, behind the Giants, with a 57-50 record. His recent stats as of July 2023 are a .261 batting average, 22 home runs, 68 RBI, and 56 runs scored. He's one of Arizona's better hitters, and is very good against both righties and lefties. Why is nobody talking about him? Nobody's talking about him because they want him to be like the other players in the media, getting more attention. And also, he was snubbed off the All-Star list as well. Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas of the Washington Nationals, who finds himself in the middle of his best season in the big leagues, slashed .301, .347, and .509, with an OPS of .856, 14 home runs, and 45 RBI through the first half of the season. Despite the fact that Lane Thomas missed out on making his first All-Star game, his statistics were strong enough to rank him among the National League's most significant players to get snubbed, which is also the reason why nobody's talking about him. Have you heard about Kacey Mart? He's a second baseman in the D-backs team, and his defensive tactics are awesome. Marte has been mostly locked in with defensive runs saved. Not only that, he also smashes the ball with both lefties and righties at the plate. Marte owns an .833 OPS, batting in both left hand and right hand, but he's not in anyone's conversations. This man has been consistent, batting .282 with an .805 OPS as of April 24th. Then he went 30 straight games, either getting a base hit, a walk, or a hit by pitch. He had a 30-game on-base run that ended with him batting .284 with an OPS of .828. He finally failed to get on base on June 2nd, but he started getting on base again the very next day and continued doing so for 11 straight games until June 17th, 2023. He's reached base in 59 of the 65 games he's played this year, including 41 of his past 42 games. But guess what? He still got snubbed. Well, these players are worth talking about, but sadly, no one is right now. There are a lot of amazing players, and not everybody can be a Shohei Ohtani. The new prospect, Elly De La Cruz, who's been all over the internet for a few weeks now, might be getting the attention that would normally go to them. We just hope they're not being punished for making little mistakes. As for Tatis Jr., it's arguably deserved, and we hope he earns his trust back soon. Let us know in the comment section what you think about the players mentioned. See you next time.